Almost a month after the terror attacks in Mumbai, India, that left more than 170 people dead, India is turning up the heat on Pakistan to bring those behind the attacks to justice. While India's Prime Minister said today that nobody wants war, the Foreign Minister says that India will take all measures necessary to deal with the situation. And the Washington Post quotes a senior government official as saying this includes the possibility of precision airstrikes on terrorist training camps in Pakistan. India, he said, will not take this lying down. And we want to talk more about both of these situations, the Afghanistan war and the tensions between India and Pakistan, with Roger Carstens. He's an expert on counter-terrorism and counterinsurgency with the Center for a New American Security, a non-partisan research group in Washington. Roger, thank you very much for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having me.
So now, why do we think that these new tactics, which have had some measure of success in Iraq, would succeed in Afghanistan?
Some of it has to do with the distributed nature of the battlefield. Afghanistan is a place where tribes and the enemy are very spread out. When one area is attacked, you have mountains that have to be crisscrossed in order to support with military forces. Therefore, it's hard to maneuver and it's hard to mass combat power. By following the Iraq model in Afghanistan, you'll be strengthening local elements to fight their own battles in a situation where it might be hard to reinforce with members of the Afghan National Army or police.
And do you think that it's possible to extrapolate between these two conflicts?
In this case, yes. I think we're having a tough go in Afghanistan right now, and strengthening local militias, I think, is probably a pretty smart idea at this point.
We've also invested, as you know, a lot of time and a lot of capital in President Karzai. This new approach, it seems, at least on the face of it, it seems to circumvent him. I mean, do you agree with that? And if so, what should we make of it?
I do agree with that. And we, to an extent, did the same thing in Iraq when we were supporting the local Sunni militias. We were kind of possibly circumventing President Maliki. In this case, it's a necessary evil, I believe. The distributed nature of the battlefield, once again, kind of calls to supporting local militias, and it's going to take a very strong diplomatic and military effort to convince Karzai that this is in his best interest, and then it's going to take a very, I guess, a mature process to kind of get buy-in with all the different stakeholders in the Afghan government.
Okay, turning to India, the rhetoric seems to be heating up, and just this week the Pakistani fighter jets reportedly scrambled in anticipation of what they feared was going to be an Indian attack. Do we think that India is about to launch a war or strike out at these terror camps allegedly that exist in Pakistan?
My sources say no, that attack is not imminent. However, they'll also say that attack is possible. Now, you remember, these two countries have been at war 3 different times since 1947. They're now armed with nuclear weapons, and they have a lot of tension between them. We talk about a surge in Afghanistan. We had that surge in Iraq. I think now's time definitely for a diplomatic surge to take place from the United States in the direction of Pakistan and India to try to diffuse these tensions and maybe perhaps say that this presents an opportunity to deal with some of these critical issues that they've been dealing with.
All right, Roger Carstens, thank you very much for your insights.
Thank you for having me.